I changed the type of our chart so we can look at another property in Highcharts for the tooltips, and that is shared property. In this example, we have some values that are on the same x-axis. So you have 3 here, and this would be the same for John and the same for Jane. The only value that would change with y value. So they have different y values. Is 100 for John and it's 1 for Jane, but x-axis is the same. In this case, the tooltip can be shared. Whichever values fall across the same axis, they can be shown in one shared tooltip. To enable that, there is a property called shared. Now when I hover over tooltip, you see John and Jane shown in the same tooltip, and they both highlighted. It is the same here. So any point that is the same, and we can use this shared tooltip in our formatter as well. Before, what we would do, we would return one string, but in this case, when we have shared, we have several data points that we can use to format our string. So the x-axis they share, so we can just do let s, that would be our string, and say strong x is but to access the points, there is a variable, there is a property points, and that is an array, and we can pass a function in here as we do normal with every for each, and add to our string for each of those points an additional piece of data. And now you will see that x is 3, y is 100, y is 1. It's not better than it was before by the default. In fact, I think it's worse, but this is to show you that you can format it. And the other thing, to access and to look at all the properties, you just can console log it and see what specific properties you need for this. So you can console log it when you look at specific points. That would be when you hover over each tooltip, you would get access. That function would be called and you would get access, or you can just look at console log this, what it gives you access to. So if we refresh this, inspect and hover here, you would see you have x3, y100, and you have 2 points in here that share this that live on this x-axis. So one of them has y100 and one of them has y1. You have access to their color, to their point. There's a lot of data in here, and I cannot go over all of them. And you probably don't need all of them. But anything you need, you might find here. For example, you might remember that first by the default, you would see a name on this tooltips. So where does that come from? You can look that they are on each of those points, you have a point, and on that value you have series, and on that series you would have a name property. There, here it is, name John, so you can access it. So that would be point series dot name, and here you have it. Y is 100 for John and y is 1 for Jane. So this is it for shared tooltip and for formatting those shared tooltips.